I'm in your face.
What is up, Hot Wheel homies? It is Saturday. It's a nice day here in Washington State. Up towards way past Seattle. We don't want to talk about Seattle. Seattle's not a very good area. So I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. I hope you're not working. If you are working today on Saturday, then you have a podcast to listen to, at least for a brief period of time. And I hope everyone's out there hunting for Hot Wheels and finding some good stuff, because I'm not. And when I do get the opportunity to go and look for some Hot Wheels, it's usually pretty bad. It's been pretty bad lately to where I don't even really want to look. So it makes me want to travel out of the state and go look and see if there's some better diecast elsewhere. So it makes me want to go back to Montana. Man, when we were over in Montana, when I proposed to Kimber, it was pretty amazing over there. There was very untapped, so there's very little hunters over there. So yeah, I'd like to go back and check it out and maybe find some good diecast. But I hope everyone's having a great day. I want to talk about a couple different things. As always, I always veer off at some point, but I wanted to talk about trading today, like trading Hot Wheels, like trading this for that, and how that works. Generally, the idea of it is good, but for me personally, it hasn't really worked out too well. You have to find the right person, somebody you know and trust, because when you're dealing with strangers and trading Hot Wheels, greed becomes a major factor. A lot of times they want more than the deal's not fair a lot of times, So I know that some people out there have had really good experiences with trading, like I think I forget who, but I've heard some people have like nothing but, good things to say about trading. But I've also heard most people that I know have had some hiccups with trading Hot Wheels and other diecast cars, because when it comes down to it, what do you trade off of sometimes? Because everybody I think thinks differently. So you trade for me, when it comes to like trading a super treasure hunt, you just trade a super treasure hunt for a super treasure hunt if they're newer. If they're older and obscure, of course, you may have to trade a couple for one if it's something that's just you're really not going to be able to find but on the internet for a high dollar amount, especially when it comes down to like the Datsun 510 wagon super treasure hunt, or even the green newer two-door treasure hunt, super treasure hunt. Those are higher dollar cars. Not that I agree with that at all, with the prices that people charge for those things, because I think it's absurd. $25, $35, $40 maybe, but some of these cars are fetching $100 to $200, and it's kind of crazy. So when it comes to trading, it's just tough sometimes. So my situation for when I was wanted to trade, there's a Hot Wheels Facebook page that I joined recently just to see kind of what's out there. I'm not super active in it, but I did put a post out there saying I want to get rid of a lot of my premium cars, and I want to get rid of a lot of just basic cars and stuff. I want to scale down my collection. I want more Datsun 510s. That's really what I want to focus on, is more of the higher dollar Datsun 510s. Unfortunately, they are higher dollar ones. I'm gonna pay $200-$300 for some of these cars. I don't want to, but I do want to collect all the 510s that Hot Wheels ever made. That is the goal. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pay some prices, but that's why the trading aspect is stuff that I already have that I don't really necessarily need anymore. I'd love to be able to get rid of it and trade it, towards some nicer Datsun 510 stuff, So I put a post out there on Facebook saying, hey, if anybody's got some nicer, convention cars, super treasure hunt 510s, premiums, mail-ins, just kind of things that are more obscure because I have all the basic cars and everything, and most of the basic 510 stuff. I have a lot of the convention and premium cars too. I'm missing a few though. So I said, whoever's got some, I'm willing to trade a lot of cars. Some cool stuff for it. I got a lot of JDM cars, and so this guy posts a couple pictures of the of two Mexico convention cars, which are cool. I don't have those. I have one of the Mexico convention cars from probably 2015, 16, 17. The red, white, and blue one. Very cool car, one of my favorites. And so he posts that he's willing to trade some stuff. So I hit him up on Facebook Messenger, and I'm in the middle of selling my house and I'm going to be moving soon. So I've got everything put away. So for me, it's kind of a big deal for me to pull all my stuff out of basically storage to look through it because he wanted to see what kind of cars I want to trade. I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I pull a lot of my cars out. I'm going through hundreds of cars. I'm taking pictures. He wants to see this one. He circles this one. I want that one. I want that one. And I spend probably a couple hours of my time going through the cars, showing him what I have, putting a value on them, a very fair value. If it's like, if I paid like $8 for it, maybe I'll charge him like $10 just from, because the car's gone up in value. I'm not charging anything ridiculous, maybe like $8 to $10 for a premium car. Maybe a little higher for, I had another car I paid $35 for, so that's what I was going to put the tally on there for towards, one of those dots and 510s. So I spend all this time, and then, I figure out he wants this large handful of cars. It's a couple $100 worth of cars, so that's pretty much one trade for one of his cars because his are worth a couple hundred. That's kind of what they go for, and I get that. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll get rid of these cars. I get that cool Datsun 510 convention car, and then we can make a trade, like a fair trade. And then he just ghosts me and disappears. So spent all that time digging through my stuff, making a mess, digging things out, going through all this stuff, pulling the cars out, leaving a pile, and then he just ghosts me. He's gone. And then I message him back, really? Like, you're just going to leave me hanging like that? And yeah, he did. So it's that kind of stuff I just warn you guys about. I would encourage you to not do that to people, to waste people's time, because you can't get time back. I don't have a lot of free time right now at all. So, of course, it seemed like a nice younger guy, but yeah, it's very frustrating because, like I said, time is money, and you take your time and you want to make some kind of a fair trade, and somebody kind of leaves you hanging like that. It's very frustrating. So, the way you should trade is, just try to make it fair where both parties feel like they're getting a good deal, which can be very difficult sometimes. So I guess my next step is to maybe try to go to a toy show or something like that where people are selling, trading, and that kind of stuff. So, or for anyone out there that wants to hit me up that does have some more rare 510 items, which is tough. A lot of people don't have those. Stuff that I don't have is kind of rare because that's the really only stuff I really want to ever trade for. So, yeah. So just don't be that guy, though. Don't waste people's time, and don't just disappear and not say anything like, "Hey, man, I'm not," turns out I'm not interested, or, just be a man about it. So yeah, so that's trading. That's one of my experiences recently that I've had, which you dive in there kind of hoping to have a good experience, and you get kind of bounced back and time wasted. So I probably won't be doing too much of that, but if I can find someone local or someone that I can trust out there on the internet to where I can make a fair trade or give them more than what their car's worth, that's totally fine because it's worth it to me. But, when you're doing a trade, just don't be greedy. Don't feel like you have to have the better end of the deal when you trade stuff. Throw extra stuff in there. I encourage that. Don't tell them ahead of time that you threw extra stuff in there. But I think it's just very nice to give more than you take. So, yeah. So trading, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on it in the comments below, on good experiences that you guys have had and bad experiences that you guys have had, and what your take on trading is, and maybe some tips and tricks that you have for some of us, people that don't really do it very often. It's just not my thing. But, if you've got some good feedback, I'd love to hear it on trades and stuff like that, or where to find people to trade with and stuff like that. Because Facebook ain't it. No, at least not for me. Not with this group of people. So yeah, I also wanted to talk about just in general, just doing. If you're on the verge or on the edge of thinking about starting a YouTube channel, or doing Instagram, starting a page there, posting things there, or a podcast, or whatever you want to do, I encourage you just to stop thinking about it and just do it. It's like Kimber and I recently went and watched Top Gun. That was an incredible movie, really cool movie. So we watched that, and it was amazing. And one of the quotes from Tom Cruise was "Don't think, do." For what's his face, Goose's son. I don't know names very well. It's not my strong suit. But yeah, so it was a great movie. But just stop thinking about doing it and just do it. I'm really proud of some people that have just taken the leap and done it. Edward, he's Bunker Diecast now on YouTube. He's one of my greatest supporters, and he's, whenever I post something, whether it be on YouTube or Instagram or my detailing page, Auto Peak Detailing, he's always there to support and encourage, and I think that's amazing. And he wrote recently on a comment that I pushed him to start a page on YouTube. And that's an honor for me, because he's such a positive light and personality in the community that I just feel like he needs to post stuff and get it out there. And I enjoy watching his videos, and I encourage you guys to check him out as well. So Bunker Diecast, you'll see him in pretty much all my comments. Just go to this. He's probably down below. Just check him out. And then also Zolo Diecast, Bruce, for starting his page, his YouTube account, and getting videos going there. Really proud of him as well. And, Skip's Diecast, and there's people like that have just kind of jumped out there and they stop thinking about it and they just do it. So just encourage you to be yourself when you start your own page or whatever you do. Just be you. Don't worry about being somebody else or being somebody fake or trying to be likable. Just be yourself. People will like you. And don't worry about, subscriber numbers and how many people and how many views and all that. That'll come with time, because it doesn't matter anyways. It's one of those things, to where you want something and then you get it and then you want something more. So it's going to always be like, you're never going to be satisfied enough just if you're looking for chasing subscribers or views or counts and stuff like that, because you'll get 10,000 and then you got to have more. I got to have 20,000. I have to have 100,000, and worry more about the people that you're interacting with, your subscribers, the quality. It's the quality over quantity. Like people that are great people that are making changes and being a positive light, And, I've been blessed to have a good amount of subscribers, but it's never been important to me at all, especially now. I don't even have my count up, but my number up, because I don't think it really matters on YouTube. But YouTube's making, they're forcing creators to show how many subscribers they have. So that's kind of obnoxious, but it is what it is. So I encourage people to subscribe to my channel, listen to my stuff. If they enjoy it, if you don't, then no hard feelings. And of course, if you can't be courteous, nice, no drama, then maybe like my page is not for you. Because in this community, it's been really great. There has been some drama here and there. It's gonna be wherever you go. But it's just how you handle those kind of things. You don't get involved. You don't get sucked into it. You just have to be the light, have to be kind, and you have to continue to love people, when they're mean and nasty, obnoxious, or they're trolls. I still have no hard feelings towards anybody, like on the internet or in real life and friendships and stuff like that. Even if you're not really close friends with people anymore. You can still love them. You can still pray for them. You can still think about them and encourage them. And they're just not going to be a person that's going to be in your life on a continual basis. Especially when people they're taking more than they give. They're kind of sucking the life out of you. Or when they're just not respecting you. When they're not. When basically they're not being a good friend. Then it's not always beneficial to have them in your life. You gotta separate yourself from them. So that's just another reminder for people out there. And it sometimes even comes down to some family. That's when people are being toxic and they're taking everything from you and giving nothing back, and it's just affecting your daily life. Sometimes you have to cut those people out of your lives. So yeah, it's a tough time for everybody right now, just in this world, and inflation and COVID and all that stuff. I just got over COVID, and that wasn't much fun, but it was just kind of like having a cold. But it's a tough time for everybody. Everybody's struggling in their own ways. People are suffering from depression and loneliness and just anxiety, a lot of different things. So be the light in this time. Don't go and write nasty comments on people's pages. Don't judge people. Don't say, I think that could have been done better. Just be encouraging right now, because people need that. People need encouragement. And, people like Edward G., and Bruzolo, and so many of these pages out there that just, they're encouraging. And I think that's great, and it's infectious. So I just want to give a shout out to those people out there that they're being encouraging, and they're not being Debbie Downers, and they're not being a part of the problem. They're being a part of the solution. And I really congratulate those people, because it's like I said, it spreads and people notice it, and I love it. So I just wanted to also touch on, some people, just asking about my dad and how he's doing, and my dad's doing great. He's driving. He's back to my old dad, like just a regular dad. And I'm so incredibly blessed to have my dad back. He, as some of you may know, he literally died for about 6-8 minutes and was brought back, paddled, breathing again, and then he spent some time in the hospital, and they didn't think he was going to make it at all. They weren't sure if he had brain function, and they had really zero hope for him, and we could feel that they thought he wasn't going to make it. And he, after hours of getting family and friends together and praying for my dad, probably around 3 or 4 hours, we found out later he woke up during that time, in the midst of us praying for him. So many of us, he woke up and was by himself because they wouldn't let us in because of COVID. But he woke up and he's made a very incredible speedy recovery, and people even at the hospital, like, we don't see that kind of stuff. High 90% of people that deal with what he did never come back from that. So it's a miracle, and I'm really blessed to have my dad back, and I won't take that for granted, and we're trying to move closer to them. So yeah, for the people who have asked and the people that are praying for my dad and thinking of my dad, and I just want to let you guys know he's doing great. Seeing him a lot, and I'm just really grateful to have him back. And I know he listens to these podcasts and watches my videos, and I couldn't be more blessed to have him in my life and to always support me in whatever I've done. So I encourage you, if you still have your parents around, or if you still have a family member that you love, or if you've had a disagreement and you can't agree on things, or if you feel like they've given you a hard time, to forgive them and to move on, and to we don't get a lot of time with our family, and especially our parents, and just don't take it for granted. So I'm just praying for some of the people this year that have lost their fathers or their mothers, their family members. I was praying for Mike out there. Nitro on YouTube, that's going through, I think he said, his fourth session of chemotherapy. I'll be praying for you, buddy. And I just encourage everyone to really don't take for granted family, So I'm just really blessed to have my dad in my life still. So, and then also, before I get off of here, I just wanted to talk about a charity raffle that I will be doing. It's I'll try to do it soon. Like I said, I'm in the middle of a bunch of different things, so that's why I haven't been posting much for podcasts or anything. We will be doing one for a couple super treasure hunts, or one super treasure hunt Galaxy. I've got a Batmobile, RLC Batmobile to give away, and then we've got some customs that we'll be giving away as well. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to do that here on YouTube. I think there's a new function on YouTube where you can put a donate button. If that's the case, that'll be awesome. I can do most of my charity stuff on my page. If not, then I'll be doing it over at Hot Wheels for Hope on Instagram. So make sure you're over there following me on that so you can kind of see updates. I haven't posted too much on there yet lately, but we did just do charity raffle for Ukraine not that long ago, and I will be doing a little bit more for Ukraine, and then also for probably children's hospitals. So I hope everybody is having a great weekend. Like I said before, that you're out there maybe finding some cool cars. Check out my last video on Kato House, or Kaido House. Man, I cannot say that. Kaido House cars. I just purchased the green and blue wagons, wide body Datsun 510 wagons. I highly encourage you guys to check those out. I will give you guys a little teaser that we will be doing an interview real soon on the diecast breakdown with a very important mini GT person. So, and then we just recently interviewed a very important green light person. So that's cool. I missed that one. I was sick during that time, so I did miss that. I'm still in the podcast doing, just going over stuff, but I did miss the interview, which is always a bummer. But David and Chuck killed it, I'm sure, as always. And we can't always be there together for the podcast, but we're really excited for what's happening with the diecast breakdown. We have a lot of fun. And we get to interview some pretty interesting people, and we've been blessed to be able to interview Hot Wheels designers, and we should have another episode up soon with Bruce Pascal, and he's got I think it's a $3 million collection, somewhere in that range, and it was a riot. It was just so much fun to interview him and to have him show us stuff that I don't think he's ever showed people before. So make sure you're checking us out on the Diecast Media Network here on YouTube and the Diecast Breakdown. You can find us on all the major podcasts channels, and you can also find us on Instagram as well. So you can find us anywhere, basically. I think we've got a Facebook page, but I'll have to look into that. So hope you all have a blessed weekend. I will see you in the next podcast.
I'm in your face.